15 अक्टूबर 2024 और आज मैं जा रहा हूँ विलनेस से कानुस। कानुस में मेरे को दो काम हैं। एक तो मैं LSMU यूनिवर्सिटी जो है, मेडिकल साइंस यूनिवर्सिटी जो है, उनसे मिल रहा हूँ कि हम इंडिया से स्टूडेंट्स की जो इनफ्लो है वो और कैसे बढ़ा सकते हैं, कौन कौन से पॉपुलर प्रोग्राम्स हैं जिनको हम और अच्छे से प्रमोट कर सकते हैं। प्लस हमारी एक स्टूडेंट है जो बेसिकली लिथुनिया में आई थी पढ़ने के लिए मेडिसिन, उससे मिलेंगे और जानेंगे उसका क्या कहना है। मेडिसिन स्टूडेंट का जो फीडबैक है वो लिथुनिया में कैसा रहेगा, क्योंकि मेडिसिन यहाँ पे काफ़ी एक्सपेंसिव है। लेकिन आपको समझना पड़ेगा एक्सपेंसिव इसलिए है क्योंकि ये शेंगेन कंट्री है और यहाँ की मेडिसिन की जो क्वालिटी है वो अज़रबैजान, जॉर्जिया, रशिया, यूक्रेन से बहुत ज़्यादा ऊपर है। तो इसके लिए ये सारी बातें करेंगे हम उनके साथ और जानेंगे कि बेसिकली मेडिकल के स्टूडेंट्स का यहाँ पे क्या स्कोप है, क्या अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ हैं और क्या ये जो पैसे भर रहे हैं वो 12 से 15,000 यूरो ये वर्थ है या नहीं है। चलिए चलते हैं कानोस ट्रेन से। सो बेसिकली अब हम जा रहे हैं ट्रेन स्टेशन और यहाँ से हम चलेंगे कानोस और मैं आपको दिखाऊंगा थोड़ा सा कंट्री साइड और बातें करते रहेंगे, डिस्कस करेंगे कि क्या क्या यहाँ पे और चेंज हो रहा है और आपको थोड़ा सा दिखाएंगे यहाँ पे जो लाइफस्टाइल है वो कैसा है यहाँ पे लोगों का। तो बस अभी टैक्सी बुलाते हैं बोल्ट वाली और बोल्ट टैक्सी के थ्रू हम चलते हैं स्टेशन तक। सो ये आप मेरे पीछे देख रहे हो, हम पहुंच गए हैं। विलनेस ट्रेन स्टेशन है ये, एंट्री गेट पीछे ये रहा। अब यहाँ से चलते हैं कानोस की तरफ और काफ़ी मंडे का दिन है तो काफ़ी रिलैक्स्ड है। एवरीबडी इज़ इन द ऑफिस नाउ, सो रश नहीं है यहाँ पे बिल्कुल भी। और ठंड पड़नी शुरू हो गई है। सो आई थिंक 15 अक्टूबर है तो एवरीबडी प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर विंटर्स। सो चलें चलते हैं अंदर और फिर बात करते रहेंगे। सो बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स से बात कर रहा हूँ, डिस्कस कर रहा हूँ और अलग अलग चीज़ें सुनने को मिल रही हैं। कुछ लोग कह रहे हैं जॉब्स नहीं मिलती हैं, कुछ लोग कह रहे हैं जॉब मिलती हैं। तो फ़र्क क्या है एक्चुअल? सच्चाई ये समझ में आ रही है, अगर आप बेसिकली यहाँ पे आ रहे हो और आपको यहाँ पे अपनी स्किल्स अपग्रेड करनी है और एजुकेशन आपका प्राइम मोटिव है तो डेफिनेटली जॉब्स आपको मिलेंगी। लेकिन अगर आप माइंडसेट से आ रहे हो कि मुझे पढ़ाई मेरा मोटिव नहीं है, एजुकेशन मेरा मोटिव नहीं है, तो मैं आपको पहले बताया तो यहाँ पे सिर्फ वोल्ट एंड बोल्ट ही मिलेगा आपको। और वो भी आप तब तक कर पाओगे जब तक आप बेसिकली अटेंडेंस लगा रहे हो अपनी यूनिवर्सिटी की। क्योंकि अब यहाँ पे जो लॉज आ रहे हैं, जो यहाँ पे रिस्ट्रिक्शंस आ रही हैं, ये है कि अगर आप अपनी क्लासेस अटेंड नहीं करोगे तो आपको इमीडिएटली रिपोर्ट कर देंगे इमिग्रेशन में, और जो कि बहुत लॉजिकल भी है, होना भी चाहिए, जिसकी वजह से आपका टीआरपी कैंसिल हो जाएगा और आपको दूसरा टीआरपी नहीं मिलेगा। तो स्टूडेंट्स एक बार ही आप क्लियर कर दीजिए कि अगर एजुकेशन आपका प्राइम मोटिव नहीं है, ठीक है, अगर आप पढ़ना नहीं चाहते हैं, आप वर्क करना चाहते हैं, तो आप वर्क परमिट पे आइए। देखिए स्टूडेंट परमिट में आके आप सिर्फ काम तो कर सकते हैं, आप ये काम करना अलाउड है, लेकिन इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि सिर्फ काम ही काम करें, आपको पढ़ाई भी साथ साथ करनी पड़ेगी। तो जो कि एक बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक हो गया है यहाँ पे। और आने वाले टाइम में हम देखेंगे बहुत सारे लोगों की टीआरपी कैंसिल होगी यहाँ पे, बिकॉज वो पढ़ नहीं रहे हैं, ठीक है, उनके पास टीआरपी स्टडीज़ की हैं लेकिन वो बोर्ड कर रहे हैं और कॉन्स्टेंटली करते जा रहे हैं अपनी पढ़ाई को बिल्कुल इग्नोर करते हुए। मैं जब ट्रेन स्टेशन के अंदर आया तो मेरी एक्सपेक्टेशन ये थी कि यहाँ पे कुछ सब कुछ जो होगा ना वो लोकल लैंग्वेज में होगा, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं है। ट्रेन स्टेशन आप देखिए, ये जो है ये सारा इंग्लिश में दे रखा है कि मेरी ट्रेन, जैसे अब मैं जा रहा हूँ कानूस तो मेरी ट्रेन चल रही है 6:20 पे, अराइवल सारा कुछ जो है वो इंग्लिश में है। और यहीं पे ही इन्होंने एक एक्सचेंज काउंटर दे रखा है जिसमें बेसिकली आप आके अपने मनी एक्सचेंज भी करा सकते हो, ठीक है, अगर आपके कोई और करेंसी है तो ये बेसिक चीज़ें जो हैं इन्होंने यहाँ पे दे रखी होती हैं इसके अंदर ही, ट्रेन स्टेशन के अंदर। So today is 14th of October and I am sitting in Kanos in a shopping mall making this video with one of my students who's studying bachelor degree in nursing with LSMU, Lithuanian State Medical University. Let's hear what's her opinion about studying in Lithuania medical sciences. So maybe you can introduce yourself to everyone.
Hello everyone, my name is Charvi and I'm from Delhi. I'm studying, as Sir already mentioned, nursing, and I'm a second year student right now from, again, LSMU, Lietuvos Sveikatos Mokslo Universitetas, in English, Lithuanian University of Health Sciences.
So basically, Charvi, when did you arrive in Lithuania?
Okay, so I came to Lithuania last year, 2023, in October. Like, let's say late September.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you basically came for which program?
I came for bachelor's of nursing.
And now you are in which year?
Second year.
Okay, so it's already you completed the first year.
Yes.
It's the most important year for any international student.
Commercially, yeah.
Because when you come abroad, I think the first year and the first semester and the first month is the most crucial one.
Yes.
And then you can roll up, it's fine.
Yeah.
So overall, if you see, you come from New Delhi, you have plans to go to US, you have plans to go to UK, but you end up coming to Lithuania and you chose bachelor in nursing. Why Lithuania and why nursing?
The one question that I get asked a lot is why Lithuania, not just from like people around, by Lithuanians themselves. They're like, why would you choose Lithuania? And the simple answer is like everything is so affordable in Lithuania.
You just said affordable.
Yeah.
So in every media of mine, I always highlight this word affordable, and I'm doing it intentionally because for some reason, I want to make sure that people who have an understanding that going abroad is expensive.
Yeah.
See, back in Delhi, when we are planning going abroad, everybody thinks abroad means 50 lakhs, 80 lakh rupees.
True.
Right? And especially nursing program or, they're like, this will be much more expensive. Right? So when we talk about the opportunities here, you use the word affordable.
Yes.
Why did you say affordable? Because in what context you are saying affordable?
Okay, coming from Delhi, I would say what affordable specifically means like necessities.
Okay.
They're not as expensive as you would expect them to be in America or London.
Okay.
Or anywhere else bigger. And in no way I'm mentioning that Lithuania is a smaller space. It has a lot to offer.
Sure.
Only if you have the right mindset and the intention to find that.
Mindset. I
Yeah.
think that's the most important word Charvi just used. Mindset is very, very important because I think if you're coming here, you have everything.
True.
But I think you need to know how to, fit in that way that you don't even overspend.
Yeah.
And also you have the full value of the money you're spending.
True. Yeah.
So you came a year back. You came to Lithuania Medical University.
Yeah.
Now, coming to Lithuania Medical University, you're studying nursing program.
Yes.
Now, how do you see the difference between the Indian education system
Yeah.
and a Lithuanian education system from a science student perspective?
That is a very nice question. Because every time my friends ask this question, I try to find similarities instead of finding differences.
Okay.
Because I feel like, because we are from a very competitive country when it comes to science fields, especially medicine. And again, the way things are assessed, examinations, it is similar because they focus a lot on memorization, retention, and application, which again is the same with Indian universities at the bachelor's and master's level. I would say the differences is like the class size is smaller.
Okay.
So this is one major thing.
Okay.
A lot more practice, a lot more inculcating in the culture is emphasized. Yeah, I feel like those are the main things.
When you're off the camera, we were talking about, you were asking me a question that why do you or your team give Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia as one of the opportunities to study for students, primary opportunities?
Yes.
And tell me now you understand that.
Yes. I did, honestly, when I was here for the first year, after the first semester, I started to understand why those were the emphasis initially. But then again, when you're a student, you're young, you're back home, you do not see the pros and cons of everything sitting in your bedroom.
Very true.
On the limited resources that you have.
Very true.
So I feel like once you're in there, you'll realize that, okay, that was needed.
True. I think if somebody has money, I mean, if you can spend 20 lakh rupees a year on tuition fee, 10 lakhs again more on the top of on accommodation, 35 lakh rupees a year, and you want to go for nursing program, of course you can go for the UK. I'm not against that, but some people have started tagging us, that you send a lot of students to these places, you prefer these. But then the question is that common man of India or the upper middle class group you're talking about, where money is available for Indian cost, Indian education system. Not every family has prepared for overseas education system.
Yeah.
Now coming to overseas here, how much tuition fee you are paying?
How much tuition fee am I paying on an annual basis? It is 4,300 euros.
Somewhere like 4 lakh rupees.
Yeah, roughly.
4 lakh rupees.
Yeah.
So 4 lakh rupees per year you're paying as a tuition fee.
Yes.
What is your accommodation charges here per month?
Per month, because I'm living in the student dormitory by the university, I'm paying 158 euros, but there are options available where you can choose to like tone down the prices a little.
158, what do you pay me is 15,000 rupees.
15,000 of you.
Which is water, heating, literally everything included.
Yes, it will just included.
So now you have medicine, nursing, physiotherapy. These are the programs your university is giving.
Yeah.
And this is not like business management or mechanical engineering. How do you see Indian students? Are they very inclined toward this university, or are there only few students coming here?
I feel like medicine, the field itself, is very demanding.
Okay.
And when you're in the process of choosing your career, especially in like high school, you're already thinking of like eliminating options. And when it comes to medicine, you're like, okay, it's gonna take a good chunk of my life.
Absolutely.
And it's same goes for the other healthcare specialties as well. I feel like a lot less students come to the medical universities.
Okay.
But we have seen a very interesting trend. A lot of people from the southern part of India are interested, and that's, again, a fantastic fact of a country that the health sector is such a strong thing when it comes to the southern region of the country.
Very true.
And that's why we see a lot of people from the south.
Okay, so basically a lot of Indians are attracted toward the LSMU.
Yeah.
When you were in India, you were doing your counseling sessions, when you never had this experience of last 1 year, a lot of people, a lot of students are very confused. They're like, as a company, as a consultant, as a counselor, I'm saying one thing, but on the ground reality is different. This is what they're confused with.
Yeah.
So maybe you can tell the students who are young students who want to go to abroad for 2025 intake, what message can you give them about Lithuania if we talk about summarizing your education experience?
My education experience, I would say that it is a pretty chill country, guys. It's pretty chill. You should not be worried at all. Just find a good senior for yourself. Like, I think good student mentor is such an important thing. I know like the agency itself offers a lot of things, but when there's a student connect makes more sense.
See, we can always help students in choosing the course, admission, visas, but once they are here, I think you're absolutely right. Choosing a right mentor makes a lot of life easier.
It does.
So basically, when you are studying this 4-year program, once you finish the program, you will be getting a degree of nursing.
Yes.
And you will also be learning language as well?
Yes. In order to get my license to work here as a nurse, I will need to.
Okay. So if you spend 5 years in Lithuania, as a student or as a worker, you can apply for permanent residency.
Yeah.
This is true?
This is true, yes.
Okay.
You can do that.
Okay. So basically, normally students who are thinking to go for nursing program in India, why should they choose nursing in Lithuania? Because a nursing program in India can be in a range of 2 lakh rupees approximately. Why should they spend this 2 lakh more to come here?
This is going to be very subjective for different people. For personally myself, it was because I needed exposure.
Okay.
And I needed to see how the rest of the world takes the things that I take personally to myself and my education pursuit. That again, it can offer you a great deal of exposure, the kind of people you will encounter. Because again, when we are in a home country, we're in a comfortable, safe spot, safe zone, a sweet, the sweet region we are.
Very true.
There, but like when you are all by yourself, not with your family, you'll figure out a lot of things by yourself. And I feel like adulting, a very like commonly used term these days, it will make your life a lot more easier as compared to your peers when you graduate, because you will still see them struggling with life, and you're like, oh my god, I've done that already.
Makes sense. I think you're right. 18 years old kid, who are planning to study in India, they always will lack on exposure.
Yes.
So with the exposure we talk about, if you're a young child, 18 years old, 17 years old in Lithuania, you are financially independent. You are basically emotionally independent.
Yeah.
You are mentally independent.
Yeah.
You also, for security is also your independent affair. You have to look after yourself, right?
Yeah.
So overall, the exposure comes from these things. So you as a female student in Delhi with one personality, and you, Charvi, today in Lithuania as one personality, how do you see a difference within yourself? Do you see a huge difference within the personality?
Again, yes, of course, I see a huge difference in myself, because when I was back home, up until high school, 12th grade, I could feel like I was dependent on my parents.
Okay.
It's not that I hated that, but I wanted to do stuff by myself. I didn't want to bother them with a lot of things of my own.
True.
of course, they love doing it for me. They still want to do stuff for me. It's just I personally feel like since I'm growing up, I need to know how to do stuff by myself because
Fair enough.
they will not be around me forever.
True.
And like now, I do bank stuff, I do taxes, I do my health insurance, I work, I study, I cook, and like my mom, she was so disappointed the first time I told her I want to study abroad. She was like, how will you manage? You've never lived without me. How will you cook? Because trust me on that, I did not know how to cook at all. I learned cooking when I was in Lithuania.
Okay.
So the only thing I knew was how to make dal.
I think most of the students watching the video are in the same zone because you have mothers, you have so servants as well in the Indian community, and you don't have to cook. But then when you're here, you have to cook. Just now you mentioned that you also work.
Yeah.
Lithuania students can work,
Yeah, of course.
and they say they can work full time in the bachelor's and master's both.
Yeah.
There is no numbers of capping.
No,
Yeah,
there is no cap.
But do you really think the bachelor student should work full time?
Again, that's very subjective because some people might have not so academically demanding degrees.
Okay.
I feel like for medical courses, healthcare courses, the degree is demanding. So, I mean, you have to see which set of hours is better for you. I personally work at 104-hour per week contract, but
24 hours per week is part time, kind of.
it's half time.
Yeah, part time. So basically, you don't work full time.
No, I don't.
You can if you want to.
Of course, I can choose to. It's just I choose not to because then my academics will be suffering.
See, this is the difference we're talking about of the camera as well. If you're coming to this country, for education, and your prime objective have changed now from education to work, your education will suffer. So technically, a young kid, who has to see about his future, now he's diverted towards a so-called, income of a lakh rupee. Because we all know that, you work here in full time, you can make a lakh rupees.
Easily.
And now 19 years old kid who make a lakh rupee, for him it's like, wow, I have my best time of life. Why do I have to study?
True.
But you forget that, first of all, this is a part-time thing. Immigration is going to check on you, right? You cannot do it for a whole of your life. You have to have a degree. And if you don't have a degree and if you don't work in the same field, you will not be able to apply for your residency.
True.
So a lot of people pick up, this part-time job or full-time job.
And they make it the whole thing.
Yeah, but it's only for like 1 year. You will be thrown out of the university as soon as they see you're failing. So I think the message which a student needs to take from this conversation is that either you come on a work permit and you only work, or if you're coming on a study permit and if you think that you will be able to do work full time, not go to university, my dear friend, it's not going to happen now because universities are getting very strict and very serious and they are terminating the TRPs.
Yes.
So how do you see this thing, as a student, what do you recommend students, why should they focus on education only first?
I feel like initially, because if you're like 17, 18, 19, it is hard because a lot of things are going on around you, mentally, physically, in the physical environment around you. The one thing that you need to focus on is setting your priorities. What do you want? Like, again, it could be very subjective for different people, how their experiences have been in life, what they want to prioritize at this given moment. Because one thing I realized while working in Lithuania is like not a lot of people choose to go to universities right after they've done high school, which is, I feel like it's such a good thing because you can give yourself the time to decide if you want to go in the field of education and then you're not just confusing your own self for the better of it.
True.
So I feel like setting your priorities straight before setting your foot into like the things that need a lot of investment is a good thing to do. Like it's a good like self-investment.
So when students are coming here, I think one of the questions going to be about security because a lot of parents have a lot of concern about female security point of view because you come from Delhi and basically the security concerns are big in Delhi, which is true also up to a certain limit, especially in the night you can't travel alone. How secure you will feel yourself in last 1 year in Kano city of Lithuania?
Honestly, I felt pretty secure. I was safe, sound. I work night shifts.
Okay.
I leave home around 8:30, 9. Although I have been warned by my Lithuanian friends that, even if you're going out, just look around for yourself. Just be careful. Like I think it's a general thing. Like everywhere, just be careful for yourself. And just, I feel like Kaunas is a pretty safe place. Because I've went out with my friends like late at night, 2, 3, 4. I've come back around 6, so it's safe. Nothing to worry about. But just like look out for yourself. Generally,
in every place, you know, even in US or Canada also, you know, the same thing because you also have liquor. But in generally, you haven't heard that females here has been harassed or eve teasing with your colleagues.
I would not lie. Cases have happened,
Okay,
but I would just say,
is it very high volume?
I feel like not on a high scale.
Okay.
But still, there are cases anywhere in the world. You'll find cases.
See, this is exactly what important is. Everything cannot be sugary.
True.
See, everything cannot be. And the reason I'm asking this question is that I want parents to listen to this conversation. And a 19-year-old kid is talking about, you know, that yes, it's safe, but yes, cases had happened.
Yes.
But cases happen everywhere in the world.
True.
There is no country in this world where you can say there is no racism, there is no, you know, eve teasing. But in general, if you talk about, you know, that on daily basis, you know, let's say Josenberg, or I would say, you know, from Russia, Russian Straits, or Ukraine, you know, those are the places where you see a lot of harassment for Indian students by the locals, you know, on skin color basis. Even in UK, I've been once, you know, I've experienced myself. But in that way, I'm talking about if students are studying there on daily basis, you don't see anything, you know, now and then.
No. Daily basis, everything is pretty chill. People are up to themselves. They don't try to invade spaces. So as long as you're like socially decent, I guess it won't be a problem. It should be fine.
But I think this is very important for parents also, you know, because it's not about good or bad. It's about how you are, you know, managing your own space.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, if you're involved in you know, certain activities where you are attracting the local you know, problems, then of course you'll be in a problem as well. You know?
Like, let's take an example. If you're walking in a lonely, dark street where there's people who are like doing drugs, just choose not to walk through that street. Come on.
Yeah, you see, people are doing drugs everywhere in the world. I can't simply say that, you know, in Lithuania nobody do drugs. Of course they do, but it's not like the way India is doing. You know, I mean, you can always have an option. You're not like, you know, you have an opportunity to avoid those things as well. So it's your own choice here. When we talk about students who are now coming for the you know, Lithuania higher education, they always have one challenge about job opportunities. Is there part-time jobs here for students who can work?
I feel a lot of the jobs have the requirement of either knowing basic level Lithuanian or intermediate if you're working, let's say, in the food outlets, restaurants, because people want somebody who can speak their language and can understand them well. But of course, there's options when it comes to, like, if you just want to work in an English-speaking environment, there's options, there's call centers, there's other spaces you can work in. Because if you're in LSMU, they offer student jobs. Because one of my friends is working in the hospital and is getting paid besides the studying. He doesn't have to like bother about anything, and he can speak English. Of course, he has to still try and get the language as much as possible, and that's actually helpful. But there's options. Don't worry.
So your tuition fee is going to remain same for all 4 years, or with the inflation, the fee is going to go up?
I don't feel it's going to change, even with inflation, because there was a contract signed initially during the beginning of the studies, but not about inflation. The other courses that we have at the university, some courses specifically have a different fee structure for the last 2 or 1 year. Depending upon the equipment you
But they give you an advance notice.
Yes.
When you sign up.
Everything is transparent.
Right. So when it comes to Vilnius and Kaunas, a lot of students think, you know, I'll go to Vilnius because it's a bigger city.
Yeah.
Now, Kaunas is the second biggest city of the Lithuania. What do you prefer and what do you recommend?
I'm a very suburban girl. Even if I come from Delhi, I would prefer something that's a bit more peaceful. Not that I don't like Delhi, I love Delhi, but it's just like, sometimes just, you know, pray for the peace.
True.
And there's this thing in Lithuania, like the Vilnius people don't like the Kaunas people, and Kaunas people don't like the Vilnius people. So it's a real thing. And for me, I would just, again, because I've lived in Kaunas for a year, I would still choose Kaunas.
Okay.
It's a bit of a bias, guys.
It's again a smaller city, you know, you have much more calm and quiet environment.
Yes.
So I think definitely that point of view, it's always good to go to a smaller city than going to a busy cities,
You can always find a lot more opportunities in a smaller city than in a big one, because then there's a lot. It's overwhelming.
Okay.
In a bigger city than in a small one.
So in nursing program which you're studying here right now, this program leads to the work permit as well. You'll also have a 1 year stay back option. So are you planning to stay back in Lithuania and do your work and get your PR, or what's your plans?
For now, I'm focused on getting my education straight, like getting my degrees and then getting my license. In the process of all of this, I will be eligible for PR.
Okay.
And I might as well apply for it, because why not?
Now you are in Lithuania, you're already here, I'm sure. One message you want to give it to students who are young, who are 17 years old, looking for coming abroad or, doing their masters also, what message you want to give to them?
There's quite a few messages I would like to give.
Please.
First of all, do your research. And when I say research, I just don't mean look up on the big countries. Because every student has a subjective past, subjective resources that they can invest in. So do your research straight, set your priorities, what you want to do. Do you want to work or do you want to study? And don't worry too much about the future, because things will unfold, but take a leap of faith when it comes to choosing the right thing.
Great. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks a lot, and looking forward to see you again. And hopefully, students, you have got some kind of information on Kaunas. So, guys, this was the video about Kaunas, and I'm going back now to Vilnius, and we meet more students tomorrow there, and we're going to have some more content available for you. So, keep watching for the next video. See you in the next video.
Press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.